What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I think it's about time that I apologize in advance to both of these NBA teams because both of these teams have a little bit in common. One of them is a little bit of a worse prediction or a more unrealistic idea than the other because obviously nobody expected them to be this good. I imagine you can already see where this video is going. But first off, we're going to begin with the first team that I really did not expect to be as good as they have been throughout the first few weeks of the season. That's the Portland Trailblazers. The Trailblazers sit at 6-3. They're fourth in the Western Conference. Obviously, Damian Lillard has missed a couple of games. I believe he's missed the last few games due to injury. So he's been struggling with that a little bit. He's only played about 5 of their 9 games so far, but he is back. And he looks as good as he has always been, shooting about 49% from the field, 39% from 3, so pretty decent splits for Damian Lillard. He's averaging 31 points. He's doing a great job of getting other people involved with about 5 assists a game. And on top of that, they've got Anthony Simons averaging 22 behind him. They've got pieces. Jeremy Grant hit the buzzer beater, the game winner the other night. Sure, he might have traveled, but that's one of those things. I got something right here on my shirt, so I don't know what that is, but that's one of those things, you know, where Jeremy Grant came in from Detroit. He was having a great time or great tenure in Detroit, and he has come into Portland and been a consistently good guy in their rotations. 18 points. He's played great defense. He's averaging about half a steal and a block a game, so a pretty good amount there on only 2 turnovers. So Jeremy Grant has proved to be a very, very valuable pickup for this Trailblazers team. Then we get down there to Jusuf Nurkic, who obviously, you know, has never been a defensive-minded center, but they're still doing decent in the offensive or opponent allowed points per game. They're about 7th overall in the NBA right now, only allowing about 109 points per game. So they have a very good start to the season. Just like that, they're doing a great job of playing team defense. While they don't have a lot of very strong defenders, they're doing a great job of being a team defensive scheme. And that's something that you have to do when a guy like Jusuf Nurkic is not, you know, a very dominant center. Defensively, he's more always an offensive center. And, you know, it's kind of one of those things where you have to come together as a unit and you have to play as a cohesive unit. And it has been so shocking to see how this Trailblazers team has been able to come out on a very quick start relatively, because I wasn't expecting it. I wouldn't say there were a lot of people expecting the Trailblazers to do this well. We know, you know, Damian Lillard last year struggled with injuries, 29 points per game. There were rumors he was going to get traded. CJ McCollum ended up being the one to get traded, obviously, to New Orleans, where he is now having a great revitalization of his career. But on top of that, just looked like it was time for the Trailblazers to rebuild. They struggled last year. They kind of blew everything up a little bit. They got rid of a few veterans. They got some young pieces. Shaedon Sharpe is drafted. Anthony Simons is blowing up. And they looked like maybe it's time to move Dame Dollar, time to move forward as an organization. And they, thankfully, if you're a Trailblazers fan, they did not do that just quite yet, because that Jeremy Grant trade, while at the time I was a little confused about it, right now it looks really good. The Trailblazers are playing very well so far this season. They have struggled there, you know, a couple of the games this year, but still just an overall good job beating the Suns. Obviously, they had a back-to-back appearance there. They beat the Suns by 2, then they lost to the Suns by about 20, so obviously you'd like to limit that, but they took the Grizzlies to a 111-106 game. Got dominated by the Miami Heat, but they've been able to beat the Nuggets, the Lakers, the Suns again, the Kings, the Warriors in preseason. Before that, I mean, just so many good to decent to slightly below average, but at least not that terrible teams that they've been able to take on and pretty much beat them. So I'm shocked the Trailblazers are playing like this, but they are not the first team that has shocked me the most this NBA season. We all know where this is going. The thumbnail probably tells you, the title probably tells you. The Utah Jazz are amazing so far to start the season. Sitting at 8-3, good enough for second in the Western Conference. Now, will I or do I think they will continue this trend? No, obviously not. There's no way they stick to second in the Western Conference, but they just don't seem like one of those teams that's here to fall off the face of the earth completely. One of those teams that has a good start to the season and finishes with the #1 overall pick. I just don't get that vibe from this roster. They're playing pretty average all around, but still a slightly above average all around. You know, they're 12th in defense or opponent points per game with 111. They're 7th in assists. They're 12th in rebounds. They're 6th in points. Nothing too spectacular, but they're making it work. They're just playing above average basketball, and it's not even to say that they are playing bad teams. They have played multiple good teams. I mean, you go down the list. They've got wins against the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, the Pelicans, lost to the Rockets, win against the Rockets, lost to the Nuggets again, win 2 wins back-to-back against the Grizzlies, lost to the Mavericks, a win against the Lakers, and the win against the Clippers, and then they play the Lakers again tomorrow, or tonight, actually. Yesterday. It would be technically when this video goes up, it'll be yesterday, but tonight, actually. So they have a very great start to this season, and if you really look at it, you know, I don't see where the cracks are going to start showing. They're playing a good, or doing a good job, you know, of being a consistently, you know, competing in their games. There hasn't really been a lot of games where they've been completely out of it. I would say they're doing a good job of sticking to it. They're having about, you know, if you look at it, blocks wise, they're not having a great season. They're 19th. If you look at it steals wise, not having a great season at all. They are having a great season. Why did I say they're not having a great season? They are having a great season there with about 8.8, basically 9 steals a game. So they're having a good job there. You know, they're turning it over at a relatively high rate. They've got about 16 turnovers a game, so you would like to bring that down. But that is just, you know, NBA basketball right there. They're playing their heart out. They're an underdog story, and I can't help but find myself rooting for the Jazz going forward. I hope they make a deep run. If you look at their roster, you've got to be happy. They're not having guys come out here and dominate and drop 30, but Lauri Markkanen is finally having his breakout year. 20 points, 21.8 points per game, about 22 points per game on 52% shooting from the field. Sure, he's shooting 30% from 3, but they haven't really needed him to hit threes at a high volume yet. Then you've got Jared Vanderbilt, who is you know, doing a good job off the bench, you know, 9 points per game, shooting 56% from field, 54% from 3, which is shocking for him. Colin Sexton, 14 points. Jordan Clarkson, 18. Kelly Olynyk, 12. Malik Beasley, 10. Mike Conley, 12. Just so many good pieces around here. They've still got Talen Horton-Tucker averaging about 7 off the bench. Just a good, cohesive unit, just like the Trailblazers. This is a team that has been so exciting so far to watch. I think they're going to fall off a little bit, yes, but do not be shocked if this team makes it into a, you know, at least a play-in appearance or one of the last seeds in the playoffs, because they have guys on this roster that I'm like, well, that's a good NBA player. That one is too. They just don't have the tanking fully aspect. They have guys like Colin Sexton, who a few years ago averaged 25 points per game. So the production value is there. And so far through 11 games, they have shown it. Sitting at 8-3, second in the Western Conference. I am surprised. I was completely wrong. A lot of people were completely wrong about this Jazz team and the Trailblazers team, but more so the Jazz for sure. How do you guys feel about both of these teams? Whichever one you think is going to fall off first, or do you think they're both going to continue this pretty decent trend to start the season? I'd love to hear from you guys down in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, hit the like button and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. I'll see you all next time. Peace.